Good afternoon, church. Today is Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. This is Kevin Duclairon. I am standing here on, I believe this is Madison. Actually, it's Jefferson, in between Park, Southwest Park, and Southwest Broadway over here. I just got some lunch from First Christian Church, and I am standing right in front of the Nevertheless They Persisted sign of women's suffrages, as I did last week or the week before. I don't remember when I had given you the video on that. I'm dealing with the women again. Yesterday, I went out into the public and I spoke to the public early in the morning, and I had to unfortunately do a sign and ask for money because we have a store in Portland. It's an IKEA store, and the store sells these nice bags that you could use as backpacks. And since I've been doing this lodging thing, I've used them to carry my personal property to get from place to place. It makes it a lot easier. Well, they went and they cut the strap, and of course, when I say they, I'm talking about Gabriel and probably my own mother, Mary Ann, and some of the women of grace. I'm not exactly sure who. I know that they've hinted on one specific Spanish woman that I once knew, but I don't think it's her that's up here. I mean, if she's up here doing any of that stuff, I think that's probably kind of corny and ungodly, but since I'm not 100% sure, I won't say her name. I don't really approve of what they've done. But anyway, I went and had asked them. They cut the strap, and I had to ask them for, fundraising. I asked them for $10 to replace the 2 IKEA bags, and then I've also asked them to repent and believe. So this was yesterday when I was at Pioneer Square Park, probably early in the morning, about 9 a.m. or so, until about 9:30. Actually, probably about 10:45. About 10:45. They are all standing with Gabriel. Gabriel's a whore, I mean, she's just an evil African woman that has no respect for herself and no respect for the church, no respect for God, and no respect for Haitian men, and no respect for me. I'm so fed up with the woman. I hate the woman. I despise the woman. They sent me a white woman to tell me I love you openly, publicly. I went back to some scriptures and I quoted 1 John 4. I don't believe there's any kind of love in that woman. I think she was basically representing some of the Haitian women that are dealing with me, judging me because I won't subjugate myself to them. I won't be their guinea pig and be their servant. They're trying to reverse the role of the man and the woman. So as a result of that, they sent me probably 3 different people. They're a community here. They're a strong LGBTQ community, so they know exactly what's going on at all times. So they sent me 3 different people. One gave me a 2, another one, and 2 individual people gave me $1. And that was pretty much it. The first bag that I had purchased cost $5. I had to go back and repurchase the same bag. The price went down to $4. So they gave me $4, but they won't give me $5. Instead of giving me the $5 bill, what they did was they waited till nighttime. They assaulted me again sexually. They went into the tent. They took fiber, and so there's shingles now all over my backside, on my chest, all the way down to my ankles, the inner part of my right above my genital there. I mean, just all around. It's just, I'm itching and scratching, arms, legs, you name it. And with the shingles, they had another hit. Here in Portland, the protesters, when they get going, it's constant taking bottles and smashing them to the ground. So apparently somebody went into one of the piles of broken glass and with gloves on, and I'm suspecting that it might be the Klan or it might be the Haitians. I'm not sure who, because the judgment is constantly against me, either by these Haitian women or by these white American Klansmen. and so I'm not sure which of the two groups it is. They've taken the tent poles and they've taken some of the broken glass, and it's not visible, and they put it on the tent poles. So I have a 5x7 Coleman that I've been using, and they like this pole here, like let's say this was a tent pole, the entire thing is filled with broken glass. So when you open it, your hands are being bitten by the little broken glass that's on there. It's same thing with like the bags that I leave. So it's one of those things. It's like, why do they hate me so much? Because I won't submit to slavery. I won't give African women children. I won't go into some dark-skinned woman and make her my bride. Okay, so these white-skinned women and these white-skinned men are judging me in the world because I won't subjugate myself to them. I think a lot of that is evil and is of the devil. I can't get God to side with me on the issue. This morning, I asked him directly, why is it that he has given me these two women, Gabriel and Marianne, to deal with? And I asked to hit me the way they do, the hatred that they have against me. And basically his response was, it's not him, it's John MacArthur. And I asked him, well, I don't understand. Why John MacArthur? He says, well, Bob Jones. And I don't understand how Marianne is in connection with Bob Jones. I don't understand how a Haitian woman living in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, has anything to do with an American president of a university or a school of theology that's up here. And why John MacArthur has to go all the way down to Port-au-Prince to judge her, bring me here, wait till I grow up, judge me for something that happened 50 years ago that neither her nor me had anything to do with it. So I was kind of taken back, and so I said to God, well, what do you want me to do about it? I mean, it's like I'm at a loss here as to where I come into the picture that John MacArthur has a problem with Bob Jones, right? I don't see how I have a responsibility. It was his education time, and they threw him out for whatever the issue was that they threw him out for, murder. I think he might have joined a Klan or something. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me what he did. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the school. So I don't really understand what I have to do with it and why I'm constantly being judged by these African women. Now, I'm standing here, right, in front of this suffragist thing. And what the passage that I had quoted to you last time I was here, which was 1 Timothy 2, where Paul says that I do not allow a woman to exercise authority over a man, right? And of course, hold on a second, some people are passing by here. And so, I think a lot of the freedom that this Haitian woman is getting is probably because of some of these people here who fought men. They fought men tooth and nail because they had, from what I was told, some of these women were hermaphrodites. They had cocks rather than vaginas. They were not females in terms of like women who carry children. They were females like Amazons who would go to war. And so a lot of these women are fighting for that. I sort of feel like that's what I'm dealing with this Gabriel woman. She's more of a male than she is a female. She's a cocky woman. She's not a gentle woman who's carried babies. She's a hard woman who's like a boy rather than a female or girl. I can't prove any of that, but that's what I feel like I'm dealing with. And men in situations like this, I think it's a terrible thing that the government overlooks that and doesn't give any kind of warning that those types of people could be a danger to the church, especially when they're removing you from the church's property through the LGBTQ community to bring you out here and to constantly judge you every single day. This is what they're doing on every level. If it's not the property, it's the body. If it's not the body, it's the income, or it's something. I don't think this is ever going to stop until they take the breath of my life away from me. And I don't think that it's a good idea for the church to overlook it, because I think this is where Satan becomes victorious. If he kills one member of the body, eventually he will go after all the other members. Okay. My testimony here in Portland is shot. I don't have a good testimony among the people because I won't submit to these white women or to these Haitian women or these queer women or these Klansmen. Anywhere I go in this United States, look at that, it's Portland police. They just zoom by. Those are the most worthless people I have ever, next to Seattle police, ever dealt with. Worthless. It is pointless for any Christian man to go to the police department of any state and cry to them that they're being raped and abused or that they're being molested and offended. It is the most pointless group of people to go to because they will not do anything about it. If anything, they'll take the community position. In other words, the uniform becomes obsolete, the law and the government position becomes obsolete, and they turn to the community, and where they start looking at you, the Christian, through queer eyes rather than straight eyes. And unfortunately, I think that's what is happening with a lot of African American churches, is that's where they get hit because they won't look and deal with the African as a straight male, but they'll deal with him as a queer male or as a guinea pig or a subjugate or some sort. I think that's probably part of the reason why I'm still here in Portland dealing with the issues that I'm dealing with. Now, I'm keeping you up to date because I don't know who's representing me in the church. I don't know who's representing me in your neck of the woods. From what I've learned since I've been out here, there's a lot of representation. So if somebody in your church is representing me and they get hit, part of the reason why they're getting hit is because of what I'm getting here. And I don't know where John MacArthur is. I don't know where Gabriel is hiding. The government has hidden these people. Make sure that they don't get touched. They come, they hit, they cut, they pierce, they sabotage, they destroy, they fuck, they use, they take money, they do whatever they want to do to me, just like the nigger and the slave that I am to them, the guinea pig that I've become to this country. I've been in this situation for 40 years, and I don't think until the day that I die I'll ever be out of this situation. Freedom? I don't know freedom. The government that you are under is of the devil, and I don't say that just to insult. I say that because it's true. They're a spineless, heartless group of men and women who don't like, and I'm going to quote the police department to you, one of the older police officers who says they don't give a shit. Okay, that means they don't care. They don't care about you, the Christian, and I'm telling you, they don't care about you, the Christian. If you believe and you've taken God at His word, that's not enough. Okay, you got to get on your knees and you got to suck, and you got to suck in silence. You got to hold back your tears, and you got to suck it in as a man, suck it in as a woman, and that's just how it goes. Okay, as far as a church being planted here, I don't think there's going to be one. This morning, because of my response to the way they dealt with me, the Lord doesn't. I was going to do a series. He asked me to do one for July, August, September, October, November, and December, and He says don't do it. So I said, all right. I removed the poster, and I'm not going to do it now because He asked. Not because I was going to go to the Tigard, Oregon, to feature one of the tents that I had used in 2019. For ministry, because yesterday, after I did the video with you, I had completed another video outside of FedEx on Fifth Avenue, and featuring the tent that I had used in 2019, or one of the tents that I had used in 2019 for ministry. And I was going to include this other tent, but He says no, they're going to set it on fire. So that's kind of a heartbreak, living in a society where you're the constant target of strangers whom you do not know, who are assuming the position of these Haitians that I do not know. I mean, I don't know my own mother, I don't know my own father, I don't know these Haitians, I don't know John MacArthur and any of his staff, I don't know his daughter. She's constantly in my ear. I've been telling her all morning long to take the 5 interstate and go home, get herself out of this situation, go and establish an office on Grace Community Church property. The certificate that I was supposed to receive from Masters, take that, put a circle on it, and sort of like, put a circle and a bar through it, and put my picture on there saying, no Haitian graduation. And that means they've dealt with Haiti, and they've dealt with Haiti through me. That means they don't go down there and establish ministry. They don't go down there and establish family. They don't go down there and do nothing, because, once a nigger, always a nigger, and that's all we'll ever be to their family. So they shouldn't have anything. Give her the office of the ministry, give her everything, and don't come back this way. Anyway, I've got. I don't have a whole lot more to do with the book, the work 2019. I don't think. I don't know if it's going to get there or not. If it does, it might get there in pieces rather than a whole. Because MacArthur, when he's done with the work that I do, he takes out the pieces that he doesn't want registered. The post office will hand it to him. They're not clean. None of the post office are. They'll give him the package. He'll open the package, and he'll probably take out maybe videos and photos that's on the flash drive. And if he's not the one that does it, it's usually the police department or somebody from the government or the LGBTQ or the African American community. I mean, there's so many enemies. They're all enemies, because Haiti is the subjugate country that, we're the shit of the world. We're a third world country. And the homeless community here is the third world community. So from third world country to third world community, we don't stand a chance of making it in this European world. Whether we are in our own countries or even in buttfuck Africa, right? And why would I say that? Why would I use that word? Why would I use that word, that F word? Why would I use that word? What does it mean to a European? Right? What is the African race to a European? What are we? We're shit to these people. Anyway, Mr. President, what will you do for women's suffragists?